Welcome back to the Nullified Take, where I've got the TNT takes for you on Australian Survivor Blood versus Water, episode 14. Let's start with the beginning. My first takeaway for this episode is that it was an extremely straightforward episode. I don't know how you guys felt about it, but I was not shocked to see Mel go. She's been on the chopping block for a very long time, and I kind of have been picking up this whole season that we were going to get an alpha male, dominant male alliance that potentially could run this merge. And this episode, everything kind of went according to the script, and that in itself made it a little bit boring. There was some exciting moments, I guess, and a little bit of strategy, and I think shaping for the rest of the season that happened here. But overall, I don't know how you guys felt about it. I was a bit bored. It seemed a little bit Survivor 101. So let's get into it. The second takeaway was probably we see a little bit of that fallout between Mark and Sam, which I think is going to continue to be a very big storyline here in the merge. As long as both of them are still in the game, they are both very strong individuals. They both have got their own alliances that they want to play with, and I think they want to go in opposite directions. And it's going to be interesting to see how long Mark can keep Sam close to him and doing what he wants to do. I mean, even in this episode, she explains to him that, listen, I had some concerns, and Mark does apologize to her, but still wants to do his thing, I guess. But he does apologize, and she says, listen, your move made sense for you. I get it, but I've got no agency in that move. And a lot of people around camp kind of noticed this. They noticed that Sam did not have any agency or say in that last vote, and that she had to follow Mark's lead there, which I think takes a lot away from Sam if she gets to the end game, because she wants to be able to explain why she deserves to be the sole survivor if she gets there. And Mark making these moves for her, her not feeling included in the alliance, and pointing out that Josh, who walks around and talks to everybody in the alliance, he doesn't even talk to her. She doesn't feel like she's got that connection with Mark's alliance. So fully appreciate where she's coming from. Mark, though, on the other hand, he says, listen, I need to stay with the big guys. I need both Josh and Jordan close to me because they're very big shields for me. People are going to come for them before they come for me. So I need them in the game. I can't go against these boys right now. Maybe down the line. I think he's open to it. I'm hoping he's open to it, and he's not completely blinded that he needs to take them out at some point. But I understand both their cases, and at this point, it's playing into Mark's favor. Like, if he gets to the end with the alliance that he's got, with the agency that he's got, I think he wins it against Sam at this point, unless Sam can take some control back at some point when he loses some of those alliance members that he's got in the game. Takeaway number 3. Geordie finally tells someone else about the idol, and I've been giving him a lot of credit for keeping it quiet. I think it would be the most difficult thing in the game to do. If you sit on that type of information, you would want to tell people immediately about it, because you would be so excited to have info in the game. And let's be honest, what else is there to do in the game but strategize, backstab, and betray? And Geordie, I love the character of Geordie and what he's trying to achieve, and I know his brother is the same as him. They're probably two very big fans of the show. They want to be backstabbing, betraying, playing the Dave Gannett game and Luke Toki type of game and Champions versus Contenders. Not that they really backstabbed all that much, but they kind of came across as wheeling and dealing and jumping in between alliances, and they want to play that game. But sadly, in the game of Survivor, you cannot preempt the type of game that you want to play. And I think that he is more concerned about being viewed as a legend when he gets to the end of the game, having this massive resume, which he said to us when he took Sandra out, that's still on his mind. He wants to continue to make big moves just for the sake of making it. And I think that he's going after Mark maybe a little bit early here, and that it's going to blow back, and it's going to blow up in his face, and it's not going to work out. That's my read on Geordie. And Jesse sadly might go down because of that. Jesse seems to be a big game move player, or big game player that wants to make big moves, but I think he could be like we see in the next time on Survivor, a little bit there at the end where they give us a sneak peek that he might be in danger because of Geordie's gameplay here. And it's very dangerous to give this information to Josh, because clearly Josh looks like a stand-up guy. He does not take well to it. He does let Jordan know about it, because obviously Jordan is his ride or die in this game. But both of them agree that Geordie is a little bit of a loose unit, which Mark has also said previously. So they don't fully trust him, because if he's going to betray Mark like this, then maybe he'll betray them. They clearly know that he wants to make moves and waves, and potentially that's an unpredictable element in the game that they're going to have to deal with later on. So Josh mentions that no, we're not going to go for Mark yet. We need 3 more votes. And, Josh very much comes across here in this episode as the leader of that boys' alliance. Everybody's coming to him, like he says. He's the one that comes up with the plans. He will go to people and make it a consensus and make them feel like they've got a voice, but he kind of navigates it in a way where he does ultimately get his way. And luckily for Mark at this point, because if Mark wins, the one bad thing about him, and I mean, no winner is flawless. I think a lot of edits hide the mistakes that winners make out there, but no one's flawless. And I think Mark's biggest issue at this point is his blind spot to Geordie. He's realized that Geordie's a loose unit, but he's not taken care of that. And maybe it's also because he needs Geordie's vote at this point, and Jesse is closely aligned with Sam. Could also blow back and I'm saying it's bad for Geordie, but the other side to the other flip of the coin here is that it could work out bad for Josh because Josh has not acted on this. He hasn't gone after Mark as of yet. Maybe Jesse and Geordie have got, they might pitch that same plan, and Jesse's relationship to Sam might get her on board for this, because we've definitely seen that people are aware that if Josh gets to the end, he wins this game. Him not making that move now against one of these power couples in the game might blow up in his face, and this might have been his opportunity and he hasn't taken it. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. I'm all here for it. Now, takeaway number 4, the immunity challenge win by Shay. She's everybody's set this whole season. She's a beast. She's doing good in the challenges. We need to take her out early. She does prove to be a beast here, again winning an individual immunity. Obviously, she won just before the merge, and the immunity challenge itself is one that I really loved. They had to take a bucket of water, run into the water, come back out, fill it so that they could counterweight a table that they had to do a puzzle piece on, or pieces of puzzles they had to put together. Words are hard this time of night, and she won it, and she did a good job. And I think that it was a cool challenge because it had an element of strength, it had an element of endurance, and also smarts about it. And she completely slayed it, So I think Shay very much could be a beast this season, and they will have to take care of her sooner rather than later. So Sam feels even more vindicated about the fact that she wanted to take Shay out. They didn't do that. I still, in my mind, and I know a lot of people are not going to agree with me, think that Khan was the right move at that time, because he had an idol. He was willing to play wheel, deal, and scheme. He had a really good social game. I think he had more social capital than what Shay had in the game. So taking that person out of the game, in my opinion, was a good move. Shay's not going to win out until the end. If I'm wrong here and she goes all the way to the end, I will eat these words, clip it, play it back to me. I don't think she's going to win every single challenge. So I think the right move was made. But Shay's target continues to grow on her. She had to win. She knows she needs to win, because if she doesn't, she is enemy number uno. So she's probably going to get taken out. So it's not a good place to be in for Shay. I don't foresee any way for her to get to the end, but hats off to her for winning this one. Now, the final point here for my takeaways is that Mel finally comes to play. The Australian Survivor Twitter page or account made a little bit of a joke about it. It's always the quiet ones, and people went off on them saying, hey, you can't joke because Mel hasn't had any screen time. How can you do this to her? She's finally gotten some screen time, 2 episodes in a row here, kind of like what we predicted. As soon as she gets screen time, we thought she would be voted out and be out of the game, and that does seem to be the case here. Obviously, well, it is the case because she's out of the game. I do want to take my hat off for Mel. She's a fan. She says so at the end of the game. When she's out, she says, listen, if my sister goes and wins it, this is going to be, or even just her playing this game with me, this is a bond that we now have forever. I'm the big fan, and I feel like she probably dragged her sister there to go play the game. And she tries. Josh makes a very big rookie mistake here. He wants to play this honest game up front, which just lets people even more know that he is the guy. He's the guy that we need to take out. He's in charge. He's calling the shots. He's trying to be the Boston Rob, Godfather type of player this season, and I don't think it's going to work for him. It's still so early in the game with 11 players left. Try and hide. Jeez, at least Mark, as big of a threat and a target as he is, he understands he needs shields in front of him, meat shields, so that he's not the biggest target, even though I don't think he's even getting it right every time, but he's got an understanding of that. Josh does not have that understanding. He tells the girls it's going to be either you or your sister, and that gives them time to try and get a resistance together. And, Mel really goes on the campaign trail. She tries to get all the girls in the game to get together, take out the boys, and she really lets them know, you've got to make this move now. Otherwise, you're going to be at the mercy of the boys. They're going to stick together. They're a very strong alliance. But I think the problem here is that the girls are not close at all. Like, I mean, you even see it when she's talking to them. I believe it was Sam and KJ and Shay that was with her, and she had to go talk to Chrissy and sorry, I think KJ wasn't there actually. But anyway, she had to go talk to Chrissy and KJ separately. So, you could just tell there's certain people there that probably don't want to work together. Like, for instance, Sam, I don't know if she trusts KJ by now, but she had a bit of an issue with KJ because of Sophie. I know Sam wants to go after Shay, so that's a bit of an awkward thing as well, trying to work with her for this vote, even though I think Sam definitely considered it. It was something in her mind, but she's got two of the closest people to her in that boys group, which is Jesse and Mark. And like she said, she needs to know she's got the votes, and that if she pulls this thing off, she's going to be okay long term in the game. So she makes the right decision here, even though it goes against everything she stands for. Obviously, I think she would stand for women empowerment and getting a strong female alliance together here, but it does not work. Yeah, I guess those are my 5 takeaways here for now. For now, the boys alliance is still running this. I know people are hating it. I don't mind it so much. Like I said, if the girls alliance plays this game and they win it, we celebrate it, and we should. If guys alliance is doing well, I think everybody is really low on it at the moment. I don't know why, and you guys can explain to me why you really don't like it in the comments below. I don't think that the boys alliance have ever really run Australian Survivor in any case. And I don't think this boys alliance is going to go all the way to the end in any case. Like, they are going to break up. They're probably going to start gunning for each other in this next episode. So just relax on it a little bit, give the season time to play out, and don't completely write it off yet. I think that there's still some hope that this could be a really fun season to watch. There's fun cast members still left. And I can't wait to see what Jesse and Geordie does. Will they get voted out next, or will they survive to really bring chaos to this game? So I think the more I think about it, the latter I think is true. I feel like Geordie and Jesse's probably going to bring some chaos, and that Josh most likely is going to be the one that's going to get voted out. But anyways, that's it from me. I will be back when we've got episode 15. I think it's going to be on the weekend. We only have 2 episodes this week, so I get an extra day's rest this week, which is quite new to me. But, guys, if you like this content, hit a like. Please subscribe to the channel. We're trying to get to that 500. When we get there, I'm going to make an Australian buff available for one of the listeners of this show. And we're going to be doing a giveaway, which I'm really looking forward to. And I know we can get there before the season ends. So please continue to share, like, subscribe. And we will see you later this week when I should have, fingers crossed, Gerald from last season on here as a guest for this week's recap. In any case, guys, talk to you later.